Good evening, everyone. I know, it went fast. iPhone says it's 6, so we will begin with our opening ceremonies, the invocation followed by the salute to the flag, delivered by Councilman Wagner. Please rise. This meeting is called to order. Madam Clerk, roll call.
Councilmember Golding.
Here.
Councilmember Horn.
Here.
Councilmember Jansen.
Here.
Councilmember Sutton.
Here.
Councilmember Wagner.
Here.
Councilmember Wouters.
Here.
Mayor Hoffman.
Here. And just to note that our city attorney is joining us via Teams. He is out of town right now, regrets missing the meeting, but he is dropping his daughter off at college. So it is an excused absence, but we will, somebody remind me to defer to him at the end of each of our items, or if we have any questions, we can certainly ask them, and note that there is a delay on the Teams feed, which why wouldn't there be? So thank you. I'm assuming he's there somewhere. Thank you, Mr. Miggett, for joining us. Moving on to approval of minutes. It's a lot of minutes. We've been very busy with our budget workshops. It seems like a lot, and even with one missing. Item A.
I move we approve the minutes from the regular city council meeting held on July 21st, 2025.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item B.
I move we approve the minutes from the budget showcase held on August 1st, 2025.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item C.
I move we approve the minutes from the budget workshop held on August 4th, 2025.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. I knew I was going to get ahead of myself. Which one are we on? D?
D.
Item D, please.
I move we approve the minutes from the budget workshop held on August 5th, 2025.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item E.
I move we approve the minutes from the budget workshop held on August 11th, 2025.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All of the minutes are approved, except that one. We won't mention any names. Approval of the agenda.
I move that we approve the agenda.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Announcements. Ms. Golding.
Thank you, Mayor. First of all, I want to mention that there was a town hall, was it a week ago maybe, with Senator Yarborough and Representative Michael. These are both of our state representatives, legislators, I should say, in Tallahassee. And it's not very often that they are out here at the beach and our citizens are provided an opportunity to talk to them, ask them questions and that sort of thing. So if you weren't able to attend that meeting, you can watch the video of the meeting at beacheswatch.com. Was a really good meeting, and I would encourage you to check it out if you have the time. So I want to thank Senator Yarborough and Representative Michael both for participating in the town hall. And like I said, because it's important that they have an opportunity to interface with their constituents. I also want to thank our Jacks Beach Police Department for their great back to school safety campaign that they did prior to school starting. It was amazing. I hope a lot of people saw it because there was a lot of really good information. If you didn't see it, you can still go to our social media and see the police department's social media and see all the great information that they've posted that we hope will keep our kids safe this school year. And also want to thank our traffic division for the increased speed enforcement that they did at the beginning of the school session. I live very close to San Pablo Elementary School and Fletcher Middle School, and I see what happens on a daily basis with the speed of cars that are going to school. Some of them are high school kids, and some of them are parents. So I would just urge our drivers to please remember that we have a speed limit, 15 miles an hour in the school zones, and it's for a reason. Also want to mention that several of us just got back from the Florida League of Cities annual conference. Always a really, really good conference. And I wanted to mention, hopefully everybody saw that I left you some gifts from the conference. First exhibitor I went to see at the exhibit hall was the Sea Turtle Conservancy because of the light issues that we're having on the beach that are causing disorientations. And you'll see that there are some hotel room door hangers that they have printed. They have window clings that can be put on windows and sliding glass doors. They also have some tent cards and postcards and bumper stickers, and they're all free. And they tell people to remember to close your curtains, turn out your lights, don't use lights on the beach at night, all those great things, cover your holes when you dig them. So I'm hoping that we can plan to request a lot of this free material and then come up with a plan for getting it out to our oceanfront properties. I also want to mention that we attended a property tax session that the league put together at the conference, and it was really, really good. A lot of great information that they shared with us, so to help arm us with information to start talking about the issue and how elimination of property taxes will affect you and us. Also attended the Doge session with Eric Soskin, and let's just say that it was not as interesting as the property tax session. And then I also want to mention that they had spotlighted Jacksonville Beach for our Municipal Achievement Award. We got the Public Engagement Award for our Take Two Tuesdays that Jacob does every week. And they had a really nice video that they showed at the general session on Saturday. And it was an opportunity for us to feel pretty proud for our city. So that was really, really good. And I also want to mention to my colleagues that it was announced at the conference. I don't know if you had been in a session where you heard it, but the Legislative Action Days will be 1/26 to 1/28. So make sure you put that on your calendar so that we can plan to descend upon Tallahassee again next year. And then last but not least, I want to wish a happy belated birthday to Mr. Wouters, whose birthday was August 5th. Won't ask him how old he was, and as usual, we will not sing happy birthday. I think everyone will agree. Thank you.
Just two follow-up comments. When something is not as interesting as the property tax session, that is really saying something. And then also, all of these have that little, they were funded by that license plate fund that I mentioned at our last meeting. So that's pretty cool. Mr. Horn.
I want to say this last weekend, the city of Jacksonville Beach had a wonderful event. On Saturday was the Hammerhead Ocean Swim. I would like to give kudos to several of our ocean rescue lifeguards who swam. One of them was first place in his age group, and I can't remember who it was. I know one of their lieutenants swam. I think they were both swimming the 2 kilometer swim. There was a 1 kilometer, a 2 kilometer, and a 5K swim. The ocean was very helpful. There wasn't a lot of current, but it was definitely flat and not a lot of bad current out there. I want to thank the Volunteer Life Saving Corps for coming out and providing water safety when you put 100 or so swimmers in the water of varying abilities, varying levels of training prior to arrival. It's always a lot of fun, and everybody ended up safe. The Volunteer Life Saving Corps, also the members of the Corps, also were out at Camp Blanding on Sunday doing water safety for the Hammerhead Triathlon. So I greatly appreciate their service to the community, and I like seeing events like that at the beach. Next year, I plan on doing the swim myself, hopefully, but wasn't able to this year. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Horn. Mr. Jansen.
Yeah, so I'm going to continue where Councilmember Golding left off on the conference this weekend. I attended the advocacy committee meeting, and it looks like Senate Bill 180. If you're bored and want to read something that's lengthy and as boring as it can possibly get, go ahead and read that bill. But basically, it covers land use, especially post-storm, and the limitations that can be put on us, or maybe not, as far as reconstruction and permitting and that kind of thing post-storm is concerned. So it's going to be a hot topic in this coming year, and we need to keep our eyes out on it and see how it's going to play out as far as the legislation is concerned. Also at the conference, our esteemed city manager and Ms. Golding put on a exhibition on how a council member and city manager should get along with each other, how the relations are established, and how you work together. Really was informative. They did a fantastic job. I enjoyed it. I think it was well received, and our city manager ended it with a showstopper highlighting his bourbon collection. So it was good. It was a good conference all in all. There was a lot to be learned and a lot of insight to what's coming up in this next legislative season. Also last week, Project Hope Case held their annual Year of Hope. It's called the Decade of Hope. It was their 10th year anniversary. And I want to thank our mayor for showing up and supporting our cause. It's a great cause. Project Hope Case provides advocacy for surviving families of unsolved murders throughout the nation. They've gone nationwide now. It's a great organization. ProjectColdCase.org. Take a look at it. Any way you can help, even if it's just sharing the stories on your social media, it means a lot to us. So thank you, Mayor.
My pleasure. Thank you, Mr. Jansen. Mr. Wouters?
Thank you, Mayor. I appreciate that. I would like to take a moment to shine a light and thank a local organization called Here Tomorrow. They were founded in 2021. They're down the street in Neptune Beach, and for the last couple of years, they've sponsored the Global Leadership Conference at Beach Church. And not a lot of people know about them. It's no cost, no wait to help anyone struggling with mental health issues. So if you know perhaps a first responder or ex-military or military or a teen, people that could be vulnerable to these types of things, please let them know about Here Tomorrow. And I would like to thank Councilwoman Golding and the Beaches Watch crew for holding that meeting with Mr. Yarbrough and Ms. Michaels. It really is a valuable opportunity. And to Councilman Horn, I was out there on the beach and I saw the beaches rescue in action out there providing safety, and it was good to see them out there and helping our community. And finally, Ms. Golding, I'm 83. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wouters. Both of your lights are on, you guys? Okay. Would you like to, you can have the mic. And just to echo your sentiments on Here Tomorrow, they're actually having an event this weekend at Jarboe Park on Saturday morning. I think it's called Echo. It's just kind of an informational fair. Just look online for more information on that if you're interested. We also on Saturday we've got some big milestones in our community this year, and you're going to hear about one of them, but a little bit later. But we also have Beam is celebrating their 40th year of serving our community, and their annual gala event is on Saturday at TPC Sawgrass. I know a few of us up here on the dais will be attending that event. If you are a typical Jacksonville person and have delayed buying your ticket, I'm sorry, it is sold out. But you can go on and make a donation instead in honor of their 40 years of serving our community. But it's always a great event. They do really great things right here at the beaches. Any other announcements? Seeing none, we'll go to courtesy of the floor to visitors. We have one card from Tom Farmer. Tom, if you want to come up, just press the button till the green light comes on, give us your name and address, and you'll have 3 minutes to address the council.
Okay, ready? My name is Tom Farmer, and I live at 72 Tallwood Road. It's the corner of Tallwood and Palmwood. And I have been a resident at this address in Jax Beach for 35 years. Before I start my little speech, I just want first to thank the city of Jacksonville for all you do for us. We surely appreciate it. Y'all do a good job, and thank you. And I also like to thank my neighbors for coming out to give me support this afternoon. So, all right. I'm here to address a grievance I have on a house located at 15 Palmwood Court. As of today, the front yard at this address is covered in gravel and contains one boat, 2 catamarans, 3 utility trailers, a golf cart, an old SUV. In front of the garage is a tent with an all-terrain vehicle parked under it. The yard looks like a storage yard, which is not in harmony with our neighborhood. And this yard has been this way. We've been dealing with it for over 5 years. Okay. My question to the council is this the image we want to present to our neighbors and everything? An image that we don't care. Would you like to wake up every morning and looking at this? I do. Okay. Because of this situation, which I do not want to do, I am thinking about erecting a fence. And per my discussion with the code enforcement folks, to erect a fence on my property, I must first submit a site plan. Secondly, I must pull a building permit. And third, of course, I got to make sure I'm putting it on my property line, which all is going to cost me money. However, do you realize in this city, I can dump gravel in my front yard and park basically anything I so desire, and without any permission, and basically code enforcement in the city does not care. Right? But to put a fence up, I got to do a site plan, pour a permit, and so forth. However, the current owner of this piece of property, based on tax records, I did write him a letter telling him about the situation. I did not hear anything in response from him on that. So, and then. Thank you for your time, and please let me know the next steps that I can take along with the city to resolve this issue. And then I have pictures if anybody wants to see them. But I do have one other comment, and that is I filed a complaint under the code enforcement. You have to sign your name, put your phone number, email address. I have not, unless Mrs. Golden has helped me, I have not heard one word from the city. Nobody wrote me back that they got the complaint. Nobody said they have done anything. That's totally unacceptable business practice. I was in the transportation business for most of my life. We would never treat a customer whether they moved 1 trailer or 1,000 trailers without responding to their inquiries and so forth. So I would like for someone to take a look at that.
Thank you, Mr. Farmer. I'm sorry, can you just repeat the address?
72.
Not yours, the address of the house.
15
Palmwood
Court.
Palmwood Court. Okay.
Okay.
We'll pass that on to staff.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was the only courtesy of the floor. We'll move on to consent agenda.
I move we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay. I alluded to another organization having a big anniversary this year, and it's Beaches Council on Aging, and I'm really happy that we have Lori Anderson, their executive director of 5 years, which I still cannot believe, is going to give us an update, and then we are going to present a proclamation to to her organization. Go ahead.
How exciting. Thank you so much for letting me be here tonight. It's amazing that after 50 years, we're celebrating our 50th anniversary this year, that some people still don't know who we are. So Beaches Council on Aging is the parent company of our program Dial a Ride. We have been helping seniors in this community for 50 years. People who no longer are able to drive due to health reasons or whatever. It all started in 1975 with a man who saw the need, and he did it with his own car. He took people to their doctor's appointments and the grocery store and everything with his own car. And then he asked some friends, and next thing you know, they're like, hey, we need a van. And they got a van in 1983. And here we are today with five vehicles to help pick up folks, 4 wheelchair accessible. But I wanted to say our mission is that the Beaches Council improves the quality of life for senior residents of the beaches by connecting them to people, services, and places with care. So we're not just an Uber for seniors. We are sometimes part of their family. And we are sometimes the only people that they see all day or all week long. And it's absolutely incredible. Connection is the key word. Transportation serves as a link to our quality of life. We want every senior to connect with their social, spiritual, educational, and cultural activities to be a vibrant and participating member of our beaches community. We listen to our riders, and when I first got here 5 years ago, we expanded to Saturdays because we have 12 dialysis patients that we take to their life-saving treatments. And I said, okay, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, because we were Monday through Friday. What do the Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday people do on Saturday? No one knew. So we opened on Saturday, and that's what we do is we take folks to their appointments. And in between, because we listen to our riders, the Pablo Towers and Pablo Hamlet, the low-income seniors, wanted to go to Walmart. So we take them, which is out of our service area, to Walmart on Saturdays, and they absolutely love it. Lower food, lower prescriptions. But we are free transportation service for adults 62 and older who can no longer drive, and persons with disabilities, which include the 12 dialysis patients. And we just partnered with Possibilities Plus, which is right here at the beach. It's a door-to-door service, and you must be able to maneuver your own wheelchair or walker because we are not medically trained. All of my 10 drivers are outstanding, wonderful, retired men and women. And they love what they do, and they're filling their time, but they are absolutely committed to our seniors here at the beach. Our service goes all the way from Mayport down to Ponte Vedra Beach. They didn't do that either, and we expanded that through 32082. We go to Mayo, and we expanded to Cypress Village, because although we went to Mayo Clinic, our Cypress Village neighbors were saying, hey, you're here anyway, pick us up. So we operate 8 to 4 so that we don't get in the traffic. But traffic now happens all day long. We do ask people to call us 3 days before their appointment. And your doctor's appointment you get, at least a month in advance. And some people are like, well, that's a long time. We're very busy. We are very, very busy. Last year we had a 26% increase in rides over the prior year. This year we're already going into 28% so the demand is there because the senior population is growing. Jacksonville Beach is 45% of our rides. So 45% of Jacksonville residents use us, and we are very happy about that. Our service is free, although we do ask for a $5 donation, and no one is kicked off the van if they can't pay it. One of my drivers has a line that I break up every time I say it, and he says, I will take the crumpled 5 $1 bills from a senior woman because she is very proud that she can pay that. We take you anywhere you want to go in our service area, not just to your doctor's office, but you can go get your hair done, visit a friend at the beach. We have Christine Light, who works out every single day, and she's a paraplegic. And this woman is amazing. She also schedules rides for her friends to come visit her who can't drive so they can have lunch or they'll go to a restaurant together. Safety is our number one priority, and we abide by FDOT safety rules, and customer service is 1A. We take care of our precious people that we take every day. We want to make sure that anyone who needs us knows about us. And that is why I am so grateful to be here today, because I haven't been here in a while. And I just want to make sure that if there's someone sitting at home that maybe lives with their family and says, I don't want to bother Susie today to take me to the grocery store. I don't want to bother Tommy today to take me get my hair done. Call us. That's why we're here. So we're having a party on September 4th to celebrate this 50th anniversary. And we want you to come and celebrate with us. It'll be at the Ponte Vedra Beach Yards, the Yards in Sawgrass. And the tickets are retro priced at $50 each. So why would you not come? It includes 2 drink tickets, food, and music, and learn a little bit more about our future. We also have another program called Beaches Senior Network, which if you call it, we got real big a couple of years ago, and we got a 2-line phone. So if you press 1, you get to schedule your ride. If you press 2, you get Robin, and she will help you find anything that you need as far as senior services. We have a whole list of stuff for seniors, including one woman called and asked, I need to spay my cat. What do I do? And we found that for them. So I want to thank you again. Someone was here who was one of our, she's a daughter of one of our writers. I was going to have her say something, but we just appreciate it. And we have grown because of the support of our community, because we are proudly supported by our community, and we are proudly and gratefully supported by Jacksonville Beach. We really appreciate it. So I want to also introduce Randy Hayes, who's part of our board. And he has been an outstanding member in the short time that he's been with us. And but please, if you can't use this, give it to a friend. Any questions?
Go ahead, Mayor.
No, go ahead if you have a question.
Some of the handicapped people that use your services, if some of, like for instance, I'll just go out there. I'd like to buy Christine a ticket and one for one of her friends. Is that something that would be doable?
Sure. And again, it's a free service, and we ask for a $5 donation.
Yeah,
For the party?
she
I'm
can
so
go
sorry.
to the party.
Forgive me. Yes. You can go online and there's a memo. We would have to pick her up though. So
I know. Would you be able to get transportation?
we haven't gotten there yet.
Okay. I didn't know.
Yeah, because I'm just finding out which one of my drivers are available.
I'll follow up with you then.
Okay, terrific. Call me. Someone else have a question?
Any other questions? Well, thank you so much for that update. And I'm never going to miss a shameless plug opportunity. And Lori Anderson is one of our honorees this year at the Beaches Museum Beach Legends Gala. And thank you. Applause are appropriate. Tickets are still available. I can't believe she said yes because it's on September 12th. So do the math. That's 8 days after her big event. So I'm excited to see a lot of you in September. But I'll go ahead and read the proclamation. Whereas Beaches Council on Aging has increased the number of seniors and disabled residents they serve each year by over 28% average since 2022, further highlighting the growing need and continued impact of their services. And whereas Beaches Council on Aging's compassion for deep compassion for, and deep understanding of our senior population has made them the primary reason for resource for transportation, meaningful connections, and dependable support throughout their adult years. And whereas Beaches Council on Aging staff, drivers, and volunteers have been and continue to be attentive to the individual needs of every rider, ensuring their transportation from home to wherever they need to go in the Beaches area is timely, safe, and comfortable. And whereas Beaches Council on Aging provides transportation for older adults and individuals with disabilities throughout Jacksonville Beach, including Atlantic Beach, Mayport, Ponte Vedra, and westward to Mayo Clinic and Cypress Village, and continues to serve the Beaches area by ensuring all who need transportation receive it with care and consistency. Whereas Beaches Council on Aging staff, drivers, and volunteers coordinate with each other through the day to ensure all riders are driven to and from where they need to go while being careful and attentive to their needs. Whereas for the past 50 years, Dial-A-Ride and the Beaches Council on Aging have served as an essential resource for our community, offering a service as uniquely tailored to the Beaches area as it is vital to the well-being of those who rely on it. And now, therefore, I, Christine H. Hoffman, Mayor of the City of Jacksonville Beach, do hereby proclaim September 4th, 2025 as Beaches Council on Aging Appreciation Day in Jacksonville Beach, and urge all members to join in recognizing and celebrating this milestone in our community. Congratulations in advance.
Thank you. Oh, that's so great. Oh, look how pretty.
All right, thank you. And Mr. Hayes, on behalf of all the other volunteers that are serving in leadership roles at Beaches Council on Aging and other nonprofits throughout our community, thank you for your service and your leadership. All right, moving on to item 1. Amber, go ahead.
Hi. So my name is Amber Hudnall. I am the Senior Human Resources Generalist here with the city. And I am here to talk to you today about our insurance renewals. So back in September of 2024, the city had awarded the RFP for various property, casualty, and workers' compensation insurance to the Florida League of Cities and administered it, which is administered by the Florida Municipal Insurance Trust, which is known as FMIT. So that contract period was for a 1-year term from October 1st of 2024 to September 30th, 2025, with the option to renew 4 additional 1-year periods. So now FMIT has submitted the first renewal quote for the fiscal year of 2026. So this quote reflects an overall premium of $1,671,713. Which is a 11.7% increase in total premium from fiscal year 2025. So while the renewal quote remains within our overall proposed budget amount in our business insurance fund, the workers' compensation fund is higher than estimated due to the combination of payroll growth and the standard 5% increase that FMIT has applied to all of their members. So I am here today to ask for approval for the various property, casualty, and worker compensation insurance coverages effective October 1st, 2025, as well as authorize the mayor and the city manager to execute the first 1-year renewal.
Thank you. Can we have a motion on item 1?
I move we approve renewals for various property, casualty, and workers' compensation insurance coverages effective October 1st, 2025.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments? Ms. Golding.
This may be a dumb question, but it's, with some of our contracts, we're able to lock in a price for more than a year. But with insurance, is this something that we can't do? Is it something that we can only do every year? So we're going to have to keep coming back every year?
We are going to have to keep coming back every year. Unfortunately, there are too many factors that change for each insurance that we have. It could be something as simple with like the workers' compensation, it could be based off of payroll. So those things do change quite often. So we don't really have an opportunity to lock in, but that's why we have it done this way, to where if we are not satisfied with those rates, we can go back later on and do an RFP to hopefully get a better rate.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Sometimes they will, just depends on the market. And if it's a selling point, just from prior experience. So I know we changed from the prior agency. How has the claims handling and the claims servicing been going with this new relationship?
We actually have had them for workers' compensation for most of the time. I don't do the claims with the general liability side, unfortunately, so I can't really speak on how that relationship works. But I can ask our Miss Elise about it and get back with you.
It would just be interesting information to have, it's especially when we're in our first year with a new organization, but I'm more just curious. Did I see another light? Everybody good?
Yes.
Madam Clerk, roll call. Oops. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, thank you. City Attorney, do you have any comments?
No comments, but in regard to your question a second ago, we're still kind of feeling each other out in the first year. There were some minor bumps, but it's going fairly decent, for lack of a better phrase, handling the claims with the new company.
Thank you, Mr. Miggott. Fairly decent is a great goal. Any other questions or comments on item 1? Madam Clerk, roll call.
Councilmember Horn,
Yes.
Councilmember Jansen,
Yes.
Councilmember Sutton,
Yes.
Councilmember Wagner,
Yes.
Councilmember Wouters,
Yes.
Councilmember Golding,
Yes,
Mayor Hoffman.
Yes, motion carries. Item 2.
I move we authorize the mayor and city manager to execute the first one-year renewal.
second?
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Madam Clerk, roll call.
Councilmember Jansen,
Yes.
Councilmember Sutton,
Yes.
Councilmember Wagner,
Yes.
Councilmember Wouters,
Yes.
Councilmember Golding,
Yes.
Councilmember Horn,
Yes.
Mayor Hoffman.
Yes, motion carries. Thank you. Mr. Hughes, come on up.
Good evening. Trevor Hughes, Chief of Parks Development and Maintenance, City of Jax Beach Parks and Recreation. The Ocean Rescue currently uses 3 utility vehicles and 2 pickup trucks to service the beach proper. Recently, the VLSC had reached out to us for specs on what our utility vehicles are. We provided our exact specs. They purchased this vehicle, took delivery of it, or it actually came to the dealership, and they found there were some expenses that were unforeseen. They approached us and asked if it's something that would fit our needs, and it happened out to 2026. We had this exact car in our capital improvements plan. Purchasing this vehicle from the VLSC helps us because lead times are very long for these types of vehicles. Club Car only puts these in production 1 time a year, so depending on when that production comes, it could be a 16-week. It could be a long lead time. This actually is something that helps out both organizations. We're looking for approval to purchase the car from the VLSC. The warranty remains as is. The vehicle's never been in service, and the pricing is based on the exact contract that we would make this purchase if we purchase it ourselves.
Thank you, Mr. Hughes, and a motion.
I move we approve the advanced purchase of a utility vehicle for Ocean Rescue from the Volunteer Life Saving Corps.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Mr. Horn.
No, I was going to throw my light on. Now, I just got to say a couple of things. Number one, I am a huge proponent of these vehicles on the beach. They're safer. They're smaller. There's much more visibility. They're wonderful devices. And when they first came out, we absolutely loved them. So I love to see more of these on the beach. I think it's wonderful that, we're going to have this thing here. I'd love to see us continue to kind of, integrate and mold these 2 organizations as closely together as we can. And I'll reiterate to the city manager, I wanted you to look into what we can do to continue, again, if the VLSC can be driving these vehicles around. It happened for 70 years. I drove city vehicle for the longest time when I wasn't a city employee as a volunteer. And it's an accepted practice. Volunteers can do that. But I appreciate you guys having these on the beach for the safety purposes, because I've flown in a helicopter. I flew in a helicopter for 11 years. Driving a truck on the beach is scarier than flying in a helicopter. So these things made me feel comfortable. Thank you.
Mr. Wouters.
I want to echo Councilman Horn's comments. My friends at the VLSC tell me this is a win-win deal, and I'm very excited about it. But I hope we can continue to foster a relationship that melts these together as much as possible. Thank you.
Mr. Sutton.
Thanks. Just sort of dovetailing on that. The VLSC had received a grant, I think somewhere in the area of 12.5 or something like that for this vehicle. And it's honestly just a shame, the cost of the insurance for them to operate this, being a volunteer organization and the limited size organization that they are and all of that. It just makes it cost prohibitive. So just picking up Mr. Horn on what you said, I would encourage us, Mr. Stefopoulos, to look at opportunities as best we can, and Jason to, be able to use sort of economies of scale and allowing other entities to purchase and have insurance and things like that. Sort of through. I don't think we're crossing particularly any line there. I know in commercial business it's done all the time, and vendors and relationships that I have at Florida Blue, and there are some considerations and sensitivities there based on what happened in the past, but as long as there's a clear delineation there, it could benefit both organizations.
Mr. Horn.
I was just going to say, yes, absolutely, I agree, and I just, we don't get to talk about some things out to the sunshine, so it's like one chance we get, but we did, and this is kind of a little off path, but we did talk recently in the budget meetings about, overtime for lifeguards. I remember hearing that, and I was told there was never overtime for it as a lifeguard, because I would have taken it back in the day. So we've got an organization that wants to serve the community. Let's support them as much as we can. Thank you.
Anybody on this side of the dais? We all good? All right, Madam Clerk, roll call. I know you will.
Councilmember Sutton,
Yes.
Councilmember Wagner,
Yes.
Councilmember Wouters,
Yes.
Councilmember Golding,
Yes.
Councilmember Horn,
Yes.
Councilmember Jansen,
Yes.
Mayor Hoffman.
Yes, motion carries. Oh, I forgot to check. The city attorney had any comments? Are you good, Mr.
Everything
City?
was good.
Thank you. All right, Kale Moore to the podium.
Hello, Cale Moore, City Engineer, Public Works. I am covering for Mr. Barron. He is out of several of the states, I believe, right now. I apologize. I wasn't aware of the format change, that I didn't get the benefit from the city manager reading the information. So I'll just try to cover this briefly. This is a water main project. It's just continuation of our annual or occasional, water main projects to replace old, sometimes small galvanized mains. In this case, it's a larger 8-inch cast iron main that was constructed 60 or so years ago, and just they become fragile. They become impacted with corrosion inside. So we're replacing that with I believe in every instance here, the same size, or maybe one block we're upgrading, but I think we're replacing that 8-inch main with a PVC 8-inch main, so the same size. It will give us more capacity just because of the condition of the old mains. But this is, as far as any of our projects can be, this is more or less straightforward. It doesn't involve construction of stormwater. The roadway will be patched. We are going partway in some of the roadway on this next to the curb. We're starting to run out of real estate in our rights of way. So we're running the new main in the roadway and then taking the old main out of service and leaving most of it in place, grout filling it. And we're patching the asphalt as part of this project, but I can't tell you exactly when, but soon on the heels of the completion of this project, the roadway along the entire stretch of this area needs milling and resurfacing. So that was our, little savings on just being able to patch what they cut up for this project, and then come back with some of our paving money to rehab the roadway, the surface asphalt. So I'll answer any questions if I can.
All right, we'll go ahead and have a motion on item 1.
I move we award bid number 2425-11 to G&H Underground Construction, Inc. for the First Street North Water Main Replacement Project for amount not to exceed $644,511.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments? Ms. Golding?
Kale, thank you for answering all my questions that I sent you. But for the benefit of my colleagues and the public, I'd like to ask them publicly. So, in the past, we've had a lot of issues with construction projects having negative impacts on the residents. And so can you help us understand how we're going to communicate with the residents in this area? Because this is a rather, there's beach accesses here where I know that's not, you can't communicate with the visitors, but the beach accesses as well as all the residents that are in that area will be impacted probably.
Yes, certainly. And what we will do is we'll start the project with a pre-construction meeting with the contractor and make sure they understand, our rules, our policies, some of those details in the contract as far as working hours and restrictions and additional requirements. And at that time, we'll prepare our construction manager, project manager will work with them to prepare a flyer, a project information flyer, which will then get distributed along the corridor of the project. In this case, our expectation is the corridor of the project. If we are communicated to by that time that we want to expand that, we can certainly do that to a little bit larger area. But this project, it will impact one lane of traffic from time to time. I believe we're constructing the new main on the west side, so it would be the southbound lane. And there'll be maintenance of traffic during the day. I can't speak without having the coordination meeting yet as to how long, if that would be, overnight closing. We don't anticipate substantial closure of roadways. Occasionally, it may have to cut across, but anything that changes along the project, we would do additional information flyers and door hangers, and our construction manager, as well as a representative from G&H, from the contractors, would be responsible for either placing door hangers and also, and depending on the situation, actually reaching out and contacting residents or business owners along the project route that may be impacted. Certainly for any water outages, we think, we can tell in advance. That would be communicated. We look at the outage area and make sure we, and with a little bit of a buffer, and try to identify anyone that might be impacted with that, give them a heads up in advance. We will be updating the website, once we get the information more specific of the schedule, we'll have that on the website. And this construction company actually wants to start as quickly as possible, which benefited us. They had some work that, it worked out well for them, which I think helped us, with our, the low bid. And we have done work with this company before my time here, but they work well with the city on prior projects. So and any changes along there, we'll update them on the website. But that said, I don't want to jinx it. This project, we're looking at a few months. It's very, very different than some of our larger, more involved drainage, roadway, infrastructure projects. So
That was another question I was going to ask. So thank you
yeah,
for anticipating that.
Yes, and the nature of this, and I think I got into that a little bit on one of these, but it's a pressure main, so it's a little different. And when we run into issues, we can make adjustments in the field, and we've accommodated that with some additional infrastructure fitting costs in the bid. So we hope we're set up for that.
Another question I had was because I remember the impact to the neighborhood on 4th Street North when we had a lift station removal and replacement and all of that.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of material that was stored on 15th Avenue North there. And so where will the material for this project be stored?
The primary site we identified that we believe is available and that we will coordinate with the contractor on is it's near a lift station site, and it's a Beaches Energy site, unused. The only kind of downside of that is it is on the west side of A1A, and so that'll be some coordination for the contractor to move equipment over, and of course materials. They will lay some materials along the roadway, right of way, closed sidewalks as far as water mains. Once again, we're not dealing with giant drainage structures, fortunately, for this project. We don't anticipate, closing any beach ends for a period of time. Hopefully not at all, and except for one service that might need to be installed to the restroom for a little bit. But generally, we don't. And an interesting point about the sites, we had several sites. We're doing a lot of work right now, and we're letting contractors use, a lot of our sites. It helps us if we can provide those sites. If we don't have those sites, we don't have those sites, and the contractor has to figure that out, which means we pay for that. So there's kind of a balance that we try to meet, where if we can provide a site that's more or less convenient, it helps us in the end. We have more control over it that way as well. But if we get to the point where we have no sites, it's just the work can be done. It will just impact the bid cost because they will have to rent something or move farther away, and we'll end up incurring additional costs for that. So in this case, I wanted to point out that we do not allow them to store debris on that site or in the project area. There are occasional instances where some old pipe, scrap pipe, something gets left for a little bit, and if we miss it and a resident reaches out to us, we address it right away and make sure the contractor removes that, and doesn't just take it to the laydown yard, but removes it, as part of their debris removal requirements.
And one other thing, you said that the contractor is anxious to get started. So, and you had mentioned that they will probably be starting while hurricane season is still active. So could you help us understand what they'll be required to do? Because, since all this work is happening near residences,
yes.
And then, of course, where the materials are going to be stored are going to be near residences and Fletcher Middle School. What is the contractor required to do to secure everything, and will we be monitoring that?
We will, and we do. And one of the things our construction managers do, as well as several members, field members and different workers at Public Works, they kind of are on heightened alert when we have some event potentially approaching, and we're looking at all of our construction sites. But our construction managers will go out and make sure those sites are, any equipment that has to be left there or stored there or materials is secure, and then anything that can't be secured is removed during that event. As far as barricades, roadway barricades, if we have to keep them in place, then we have, there are some certain types of barricades that we make sure are used that will be, safe for the winds, or we just have them removed at the last minute and then put back immediately after if we were to evacuate. So we do monitor that. This one, once again, I keep saying it, this project hopefully has things that they can move pretty quickly if they need to and get it out of the way. And small water mains instead of large water mains along the, larger pipes. Sometimes they need to plug those and fill them with water to weight them down. This isn't a project like that. So we do monitor that. We look at that. And contractors, of course, that work in this area, that's a benefit to having repeat contractors that we've worked with that work in this area. They kind of know the drill as well.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate all the time you spent to
Absolutely.
get
Yeah,
the
with-
answers back
with
to
our
me.
Construction manager to make sure I wasn't missing some. I will point out though, I realized I did miss a small detail on that. Well, hopefully it's a small detail. Our work hours in the contract currently are 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. That said, contractors generally won't work after dark because you don't see a lot of our projects set up with the bright lights like DOT might do. So that's really just there's flexibility if they're doing projects during the summer to kind of help them get in, get the job done, and get out of there. In this case, I can't imagine that. I don't expect that this would be an issue, especially once time changes. If they're still during the project, they won't be there after dark or late. And also, they have to get permission from us to work on weekends or on holidays or at night. And the only reason I say that is because this is a water main project. There may be a couple of instances at night where we have them work to tie in other water mains because we might have to take the water system in one area down a little bit. And especially for businesses, we will schedule that around an evening. I'm not sure if it depends on how much we can isolate the existing system they're tying into. So that may happen a couple of times. Once again, that will be on our website. We'll have notifications and to the impacted residents and business folks.
Okay, thank you very much.
Mr. Wouters.
Thank you, Mayor. Please forgive me, sir. I don't know your name. I missed it.
Kale Moore. I'm sorry,
Okay,
Kale,
all right,
K-A-Y-L-E.
Mr. Moore. Thank you for all you do.
Thank
I've seen a lot of these projects over the years, and one thing that always affects the neighborhoods, and I have friends who live right around there, and parking is there is no parking, basically. Is there any thought of where all these workers are going to park, or are they just going to filter into the neighborhood, park on both sides of the street, leaving only one car passing through?
We
Like they normally do.
We don't have specific information at present in our bid documents for parking. That's left to our coordination with the contractor. So we can work with the administration and see what types of requests we could give them. I don't know how large these crews will be, but there will be parking along 4th Street North, I believe. In the area where their laydown yard is going to be on the other side of the road. There may be a few, 2 or 3 vehicles that will use the beach end zone parking during the day for this project.
Well, I hope that will be considered because I know it's really frustrating for people who have to deal with it every day for months or however long it takes. And is any of this in? I'm not sure who I should ask this question to, but is any CRA money available for this project, or is it out? I'm not sure where it ends in the north.
No, this work would be outside of the boundaries for the CRA. Could not use money for it.
Okay, because I know it extends down to at least 11th Avenue South in the
9th,
south.
yes, 9th.
Is it 9th?
9th Avenue North, and this picks up at 9th Avenue North. If you notice, this is broken into a few sections, and it's because other projects in the past had addressed replacing the cast iron main. There was a continuous 8-inch cast iron main constructed at the same time in the 60s, or I believe. So other portions were addressed with other projects in the past, so that's why we're kind of broken up, catching the rest of it, I believe, in this project.
And I would just like to reiterate or just encourage you to work with our partners that if there was notice supposed to be given on the south end on the piping, a lot of it didn't get through for whatever reason. So I hope we can be sure to let all the people who are going to be affected know in advance. And lastly, so will people be losing their water?
We don't anticipate significant water loss. It would be a brief, just to change a service over.
Okay.
And so it would be maybe 2-hour windows that we would.
Well, that's good to know.
If something were to happen unexpected and we lost pressure, we would restore water as quickly as possible, and we may have a boil water notice due to FDEP requirements. But we typically do not have that issue come up during these projects. They install the new water main, and then make sure it's ready to go into service. And then a lot of times at night, they'll come in and take out the old water main out of service and tie in at certain specific locations at night to try to minimize that interruption.
And lastly, I would just like to say, there's a lot of big hotels down there. Maybe some kind of arrangement they could rent out, 30 spaces, whatever they need. But I'll leave that up to my esteemed colleagues and whatever to consider.
We'll discuss that internally at Public Works prior to the pre-construction meeting, and see if we can't help kind of guide the parking. And then once we have the pre-construction meeting, that'll give us a really good idea of the number of vehicles we're talking about for this project.
Awesome, because on behalf of the residents who live around there, we thank you.
Well, hopefully you'll know. Thank you. Hopefully you'll notice a little improvement in your water pressure when it's done.
Thank you, Mr. Wouters. Mr. Horn?
I was just going to say, it's infrequent that I get excited about reading a bid tabulation sheet, but I was actually happy to see that there were 10 viable options here. I don't know if this question is for you, for Dennis, maybe for Mike. It said we had $600,000 budgeted for this, and we went a little over, which will happen, but we were lucky to have 10 because we came in at 660, and it went up precipitously. I think the far end of that spectrum was 1.2 almost. When you look at this, the cost, it's very interesting also to see what one company will charge for one item and the next company charges a third of the price. Did we underestimate, or did the cost of business go up? I mean, I'm just trying to figure out where.
Yeah,
I'd be worried if the only two options we had were 1.2 and 1.1. Do you see what I'm saying?
I do, and I'm really happy we had that many. I don't know if this is going to be, consistent. This used to be in the past, but hopefully we've turned the corner again. And because the more bids you get, the more competitive the idea, that you can get your bids. Our engineers, our design engineers, will put together opinions of costs along the design path, and we have them do a final one before we bid. And our numbers were still consistent. I think they were, around the 500 to 550 after some contingency. So we felt pretty good about it going out to bid. It's materials. So many things change, and what we don't want to get in the habit of doing is overshooting and just kind of padding the numbers, because then we'll lose some credibility that way. I think if our bids start coming in consistently lower than the money we've been asking for, so it's hard. It's tough. We're happy with how close this was. It would be nice if it was well inside after the contingency, and we'll shoot for that on the next couple projects.
That sounds good. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Mr. City Attorney, do you have any comments?
Nothing to add.
Thank you. And roll call on item 1.
Councilmember Wagner,
Yes.
Councilmember Wouters,
Yes.
Councilmember Golding,
Yes.
Councilmember Horn,
Yes.
Councilmember Jansen,
Yes.
Councilmember Sutton,
Yes.
Mayor Hoffman.
Yes, motion carries. Item 2.
I move we award the agreement with Jones Edmonds for construction administration services for an amount not to exceed $20,043 for this project.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Any additional comments or questions? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, roll call.
Councilmember Wouters,
Yes.
Councilmember Golding,
Yes.
Councilmember Horn,
Yes.
Councilmember Jansen,
Yes.
Councilmember Sutton,
Yes.
Councilmember Wagner,
Yes.
Mayor Hoffman.
Yes, motion carries. Item 3.
I move we authorize the mayor and city manager to negotiate and execute any contract as a result of this bid award.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Madam Clerk, roll call.
Councilmember Golding,
Yes.
Councilmember Horn, Councilmember Jansen,
Yes.
Councilmember Sutton,
Yes.
Councilmember Wagner,
Yes.
Councilmember Wouters,
Yes.
Mayor Hoffman.
Yes, motion carries. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you
Moore.
very much.
And can I have a motion to adjourn?
I move to adjourn.
Second?
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? This meeting is adjourned.